Howdy fellers, it is Sunday evening and getting ready to do a shave here. The letter of the day is S. So for my S shave, I have my, let's see it here, my Satin Edge Double Duck. This one's not in pristine condition, but it's in pretty good condition. And kind of like the clear scales and the extra little emblems on there. It looks kind of pretty. And the soap of the day is Oleo Soapworks SIBO. This is the Canard, the duck fat base. Pretty good soap. And I'm using my trusty old Omega boar brush. And I've got gobs and gobs of lather. Probably enough to do 2 or 3 shaves, but switching from soap to soap, sometimes I forget some soaps you need more product to get a nice shave out of, and some soaps you don't. And this time I think I always scoop a little bit out. I've got my 50-cent Snurgler here, old paint can opener I use, and usually scoop out about I don't know, Lama Bean size thing of soap, and put it in my bowl and kind of use my thumb to smush it to the side of the bowl, and then lather that up with a brush, and keeps me from getting all my soaps all waterlogged from loading straight off the puck out of the bowl, and helps me control and get the right amount. I know I'm using about a Lama Bean size piece, and usually that's sometimes a little too much, sometimes not enough, and all depending on the soap. So anywho, not a whole lot of goings on around here. Mowed the lawn, did a little bit of cleaning in the shed. Got some junk loaded up in the truck. Haven't got a full load yet. Tomorrow I'll be getting a full load in the truck and probably heading to the dump, and that's going to be a twofer because the missus got out and started fussing around in the flower beds. So now I need to get some mulch, so when I go to the dump, then we got a yard waste recycling center where they make their own mulch. And if you load it up yourself, it's free. So that's the right price for me. So I'm gonna go fill up a couple shipping tubs with soap. I mean with soap, with mulch. And we only got a row home, so the flower beds up front are about 4 or 5 foot deep front to back, and then widthwise you got what, 22 foot widthwise or something like that. So it's not a whole lot of area. So any of you guys that been playing around with this with straight edges enough, or following them enough, once upon a time, and even a little bit still so now, double ducks were the holy grail. They still command a premium, and just like the Philharmonicas, I mean, it's justly deserved to a point, but I didn't give big money for this one. Like I said, it's not pristine, but it's in good shape. And I don't know. I would have to say if you was to blindfold somebody or figure out a way to cover everything up so you couldn't tell what blade it was, this you would say is a high quality made in German razor, made in Germany razor. So, but wouldn't say there's anything that sets it out to be, you know, oh my God, it's spectacular. I like it for the scales more than anything, but it is a nice razor. Use it occasionally, and no complaints. But it's not one of the ones that I would say I would never get rid of it. But being a pack rat, I never get rid of really anything. So, but this, it's a nice razor. Anywho, so I don't really have, like I said, a lot going on, but I can tell you guys an anecdotal funny story today. So after I mow the lawn, I come in. Now, a couple weeks ago, we was out working on this one job, and it's on this really 90-degree hairpin corner. And off in the woods, on that corner, it used to be a house back in there. A long time ago. There's still a stone foundation just inside the tree line. And it's all growed up. But I spied some plants back in there that immediately my brain registered as being daffodils, which made sense. I thought, well, whoever had that house planted some flowers along the side of the house. And even though the house is no longer there, and it's an empty foundation and all, daffodils keep popping up year after year. Nobody really worries with them, bothers with them, cares about them, and they're back in there. So then, of course, the missus is saying, she says to me, over on the one side of the flower bed, on the one side of the front door, I was thinking, why don't we maybe put some daffodils in there? So I said, I know where we can get some daffodils, dig them up, and transplant them here, and away we go. So I commenced to take and saying, hey, let's go get them daffodils. So she says, all right. So I put plastic cover in the back of the trunk of the car, round point shovel in the back seat, and head on out to get my daffodils. So we get out there, and I say, this won't take long. Grab the shovel in the tub, head on in there, make my way through the briars, keep my eyes open for, you know, wild critters and such. And as I get up on them, I start to get that sinking feeling in my stomach. Like, well, your eyes ain't as good as they used to be. Because on first blush, they don't look like daffodils. So I stick the shovel in the ground and unearth the roots. And they happen to be large wild onions. So, and on top of that, insult to injury, that first shovelful, as I was levering it up, the handle of the shovel breaks. So, my pride thoroughly emasculated, I head back to the car where my lovely wife is waiting. No daffodils. Broken shovel. Tears welling up, crocodile tears welling up in the corner of my eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna disappoint my wife. Yet again. It's a common occurrence. She's used to it. She's built up quite a tolerance by now. And had to relay that story to her. And I get the look of, well, let's go home, dumbass. Don't get my hopes up about daffodils again. So now, of course, I gotta tell her, you know, botany class was a long time ago. And when I spied them out the window of my dump truck back there in the woods sprouting up, anybody, you know, even somebody that like was a florist or something, anybody would have said, yep, that looks like daffodils sprouting up. So, but I just got the look of disgust and away we went. So in order to try to get back in her good graces, I had to buy her a frozen coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. That seemed to placate her a little bit. So I couldn't get her something pretty to plant in front of the house, but at least I could get her a nice beverage. Now, a lot of people would have maybe made up a story. I thought about it a little bit. I was thinking about maybe, you know, a farmer coming out of the field, straw hat and pitchfork, old rusty shotgun, yelling at me to leave, get off my property. Yeah, you're no good bastard, you. And then I was gonna have to run for the hills, dodging rock salt from an old shotgun. But no, none of that happened. It's just me and the wild onions that broke my shovel and my heart. So now I can say every time I'm chopping onions, it reminds me of that day, and that's why I'm crying. It's not because of the aroma coming up. So maybe I gave you guys a chuckle. So Fluffy's not perfect. I can see it from where I'm at. I don't even need a telescope. Just my spectacles. But I'm not perfect. So now, that's a darn good shave. And I'll touch up here. Whiskers at the corner of my mouth on my mustache always. Put up a little more of a fight. And down here on both sides, they're like billy goat hair. Tough. Even my Shogun edge has a hard time getting through them hairs. So, lots of going on. I still gotta watch. I gotta get caught up. Watch everybody's videos and all on the forum. Seems like everybody's still making out halfway decent with the with everything. All the fussing and carrying on. Nurse Dave seemed to figure or think I guess maybe the tone of my journal entries and all might have seemed like I was a little bit down. Nah, it's just, I don't know. I just get disappointed, and I guess I shouldn't be. I've been around long enough and watching politics long enough to, I shouldn't be surprised when I'm disappointed in politicians, but it just, I don't know. It disappoints me when they do things that to my mind are so clearly unconstitutional that a kid did reasonably well in a 9th grade government class would ask the same questions that I ask. Where do you get the authority to do that? And I realize, but emotions are emotions and laws are laws, and they don't combine. I don't want to be arrested because somebody thinks I should be arrested. I want to be arrested when somebody knows I should be arrested. And if you don't know, and I can be an asshole, but still not be a lawbreaker. I don't know. That's just the way I look at it, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't. I got on a soap off. I guess I did. And I just think there's too many people these days that let emotions rule the day and all, and sometimes even arguments for the greater good and all. I just think people should be trusted to use common sense, and you can guilt somebody and shame somebody into something, and most people are going to do the right thing. And the few yahoos that don't, well, then you ostracize them and make them feel like the jackwagons that they are. But don't trample on the Constitution. That gets on my nerves. Anywho, get off my high horse and all. And my aftershave of the day is this Figaro. Now, don't get scared. I got a backup bottle of this. This is one of the ones I've always have on hand. I love this aftershave. It has a nice, sweet, kind of smoky scent to it, and hangs around pretty good, and goes really well because that SIBO is almost like a gourmand scent. It almost smells like chocolate with maybe a little bit of mint in the background, and it almost smells like something, if you have a kid around, you might want to be careful. They might try to eat the stuff. It smells good. So, but this is awesome aftershave. Now, other thing, I think I've said this before, maybe the last time I used it. You can see a bigger bottle of this, and the label looks really similar, but the bigger bottle is a totally different scent, I've been told. I never bought the bigger bottle. So you always got to watch out for these. Sometimes they get scarce, and then they'll come back available. On Amazon, you can find them and all. And I struck out, I was talking with somebody in Germany, trying to get the other 2 cents that Tayback makes, the quote-unquote new ones, rather than the original. Everybody's got this. The original, you can get this anywhere. The Firepower Man and the Tayback Craftsman in the gray bottle, and the Firepowers in a red bottle. Those are very hard to get. This I managed to find. This is excellent aftershave. I like this. So I'm still haven't given up. Love my Tayback. So you guys have a good rest of the night, and I will check in with you, I don't know, in a couple of days maybe. Take it easy. Bye.